Free bird, yeah. Should I leave that in? Should I just leave that in? Fuck it. We'll leave that in. I don't know if I'll leave the whole thing or just the Freebird. Oh, I've been thinking about Freebird. Now it's just gotta stick. I was gonna mention how we're not gonna have the God debate this episode, but I don't know, whatever. Yeah, nobody stepped up to bat. I mean, like, I don't think anybody cares. I don't think any of my viewers are gonna be really, like, really religious, especially really Christian. I mean, it's unlikely. It's possible, but I don't know. Or they're scared of me. I say that often. Because I don't know, I don't get that many hate or anything like that. And I guess, I have a very, very small audience, so it's unlikely. But I also like to say that maybe, yeah. Wait, what? Change in accordance with... I don't have iOS, so this doesn't matter, right? Wow. What? If you're on the latest iOS, your account data won't be automatically restored after. Wow. I mean, I don't think Android does that, but it sucks that they used to do that and then they don't anymore. Damn. Okay, sure. Well, shout out to iOS VC players. Just got shafted. What was I talking about? Yeah, no, I don't know. People don't really come to me with anything. Because I treat comments very strangely. I treat everything seriously, subconsciously. Sometimes if it's like a joke, I'll treat it like a joke. But most of the time, I'll just take it very seriously, and I can talk about any subject seriously if I want to. Like a friend of mine likes to ask these joke questions, with just more or less observational questions, and then I take them 100% seriously, and then drop like a few paragraphs of explanation. Like people in the Zeke chat might know of this. But I don't know. It's just like, I mean, that's the kind of shit that goes on in my head. I don't always reply in such a fashion. But it's just a thing that I'm used to doing with him specifically. So I just now always do it, and he'll ask questions and things, and he'll usually, I'm pretty sure by now at least he'll expect me to say something like that. Like there was one that was kind of recent, but I don't like it as much. But there was one before that, where he was like just trying to make a joke, and then I was just like, no. No, he asked like what would you do if someone broke into your house and you had the option to like try to scare him away without weapons or to leave, and his joke thing was to it was something to do with an ape, I think. No, escape. It was escape. And the ape was like, you go ape, so you can go crazy, but you could also escape. I don't know. I don't think it was very good. But of course, I took it very seriously, and I was just talking about, yeah, I mean, either one could work. It depends a lot on the circumstances, and also everything in your house can be a weapon, if need be. I meant, fucking lob a chair at the fucker. That's a direct quote from what I was from that whole discussion. I said to lob a chair at the motherfucker if it's possible. It really, depends where you are, where they are. The further you are, the better idea it is to escape. But if it's hard to get out without being noticed, then perhaps go for the scare, because especially if they don't know you're there, you might want to be able to get the jump on them, but it had to be a very, very quick thing. And also, the weapon that they're carrying plays a lot into factor, and you have to be aware of that. You also have to be aware of, where you are, how likely these things are to happen, like, because then that could play into how many times this particular person has done that kind of thing, which, maybe they know what they're doing and they'll just shoot on sight or something like that. But most people, any people, would be reluctant to fire a gun because, I mean, even if you're like a criminal, if you're just in somebody's neighborhood and you're loading off bullets, somebody's going to call the cops, You don't want to be loading off bullets if you can. So I don't think they're going to be very trigger happy, usually, unless that you're in a particular neighborhood where that kind of shit just flies. In that case, I don't know what you're doing. Get out of that neighborhood unless you can't, and I feel bad for you. But yeah, that's, I don't know, Zeke's tips and tricks on how to deal with somebody breaking into your house. I hear it's a very traumatic experience. But, just if you take things calmly, you just might come out alive, or be able to do something, I don't know. Or you can just hide. Hiding also works, probably, because they're just there to take something and leave most of the time. And then if you're able to make an account of what they took, depending on what it is, they can probably be tracked down later on. Don't be the hero. That's what the police are for, that kind of shit. But if it has to come down to it, and you have to fight or you have to scare them off or something, everything is a weapon. Be creative about it with just lob a chair at the fucker. That's a real thing, If you can lob a chair at them, knock them out, or at least distract them enough for you to run and call the cops or something, I'm not saying you have to tackle them and pin them down until police arrive, but at least get out of there and run to like a neighbor that you trust. If you have a cell phone, call. If not, definitely go to a neighbor and tell them to call. Fucking get the police down there, unless it's a place where the police don't give a shit, and in that case I feel bad for you. Yep, 10 tips and tricks on what to do in a home invasion. I haven't been counting. I don't know if it's 10. I doubt that it's 10. I doubt that it'll be 10. I have no idea what it is now. I could try to continue this topic, but I've almost run out of things to say. Those are the basics, though. The same basic principles go for pretty much any place with an active shooter entering the facility, like a workplace or a school or something. Hide, flee, or fight. Those are your three basic options, and fight is really your last straw. If nothing else is possible, you wanna hide, flee, or fight. I would say fight last, but I don't really. I'm not sure about hide or flee. I guess it really just depends on where you are. If you can get out, do. If it's harder to get out, hide. If he seems like he's coming right your way, you might have to prepare for some sort of fight. Stick together too, but don't let people drag you down. I know that's a fucked up thing to say, but if somebody's just freaking out and they're hiding in a corner and you're trying to escape and you're trying to get them to escape, maybe they're fine in the corner and maybe you need to get the fuck out, These aren't just my words. These are the words of the shit they told us in college. They showed us an instructional video about what to do if an active shooter appears. And it's true. I mean, it's the trolley problem, really. It's like, do you stay there and risk more lives, or do you get out and make sure somebody's calling for help? Yeah, it's like a little fucked up, but that's really like if they're beyond help, if they're refusing to listen to reason or something, most of the time you should be able to convince someone to escape if there's somebody going around shooting people. Hi, Tiger. Come here. Hey. Meow, 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 meow. Meow. She's chilling on the floor. She's looking at me. Hi. Hi. It looked like she was about to jump up on the bed, but she was going to jump up on the other end. I'm trying to get her. Hang out up top here. Hang out by me. Come here. She won't. She doesn't really understand, like, if I'm calling to her. She notices that I'm calling at her. She knows I'm talking about her, but she doesn't understand what I'm telling her to do. Come here. Meow. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Nope. Now she's just fucking messing with the... Hey, there you go. Yep. That's what I thought. Now she's just on the end of the bed. She's in the opposite corner of me. Well, not on the corner. I'm on the headboard, leaning against the headboard, and she's on the far corner by the feet. That's fine though. I'll be fine. I'll live. Those of you who don't know, I have a cat. I talk about it every now and then. She doesn't usually like hang out with me when we're on the bed. She'll just be on the corners because I won't fuck with her over there, and she just like wants to chill, you know? Like she understands what my space is. Like she understands my feet space is in the middle, and like I might like stick my feet down there and move around a bit. She doesn't want to be a part of that, so she's on the corners and on the edges. She used to sometimes sit up at the top corners, and that would be nice, but I would still randomly pet her, and she'd get tired of that. And also now I just have a book there. Well, I have two books. I have two very, very large books there. The Nuthampson collection and the Breath of the Wild official guide. Both very, very large books. About the same size in, like, I'm like feeling it out now, and the Nuthampson one's bigger. But they're about the same, like, cover size, but not the same depth, I guess. Like the height and the width are same, except of course Nuthampson's. Again, I already said that was bigger. Except the height is closer than the width, but it's only a little bit bigger than Nuthampson. But the depth to it is much larger on the Nuthampson. It's probably about two times the size of the book. And if you have the Breath of the Wild official guide, which you probably don't, you know that that's a very large book. Maybe one day I'll find a picture or something. Oh, what was that? Oh God, I never talked about this. There was one point where I know it was recent, but it wasn't like, I don't think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago. Maybe like a week ago or something. Maybe it was really recent. But the video cut out, but the audio stayed because the audio recorded through the backup audio recording, but the video cut out because the screen turned off. So I had to splice in the beginning video and the video I recorded immediately after that. And I needed something to put in the middle between like the video files, because you can have an audio file wherever the fuck you want, but you can't have a video file be separated by empty space. You can't even try to make empty space in Power Director. I assumed like maybe there'd be just like a black space or something, like I just like black it out or whatever, just video ends, audio plays, then video starts, but no, you can't have that. So I was like, okay, I gotta put something in the middle, and I just went to my pictures, and I saw, one of the first ones I saw was the one that I used, which was a picture of Tiger next to my dictionary, which was an encyclopedic dictionary, which means it's a very large dictionary, very old, very large dictionary. I think it's here, maybe. No, that's in the other room still, because I didn't have room for it here. Yeah, that's still in my old room with the bookshelf I used to use. It's just technically now it's in my mom's office with like, it's really just like that and 2 like textbooks from school. that are just there left on the bookshelf because I don't use them often. But no, I love that dictionary. It's great. I was talking about it at one point, and I was just talking about how big it was, and I was like, I got to take a picture of this thing. And then Tiger was just chilling on the couch, so I set down the book next to her, and I was just like, look how big this book is. Also, there's a cat. So I put a picture in the video, and I just still had that picture because I took it with my camera, and it was just in my camera files. So I just used that picture again because it's a nice picture. We're just chilling there next to a big ass fucking dictionary. That reminds me, not the substance of what I said, but the words that I used because I said big ass fucking. Age gate is what that reminded me of. The YouTube age gate, which is technically kind of been a thing for a while. YouTube age restriction, but people are just kind of starting to take notice of it now. But people are now checking as to whether or not their channels are restricted under age restriction. And interestingly enough, mine isn't. If your account has age restriction on, where it won't show you like bad shit or whatever, and I'm assuming saying bad shit counts as bad shit, it gets restricted, but mine isn't, so nobody gives a shit about me. But interestingly enough, I was looking at my channel through this thing, and I was like, oh look, nothing, and I like scrolled down a bit, and I saw my little collection thing, not collection, but I don't know, I feature a few channels through my channels. There's a little section or something called Great Friends where I put other people's channels on there, and all I saw was Sonata. And I was like, well, yeah, Sonata's on there, but there should be more people on there, right? And I was like, oh, I still have age restriction on. So I switched it off, and Mike appeared. So Mike gets his channel restricted from the age thing, as well as two other my friends who I may have talked about but aren't as relevant to the channel, because there's only 4 people in that list. Guardwin I love. I gotta talk to him more often, but he was one of the Kick dudes, and I'm not active on Kick anymore, and the chat we were in just isn't active anymore. So I don't talk to him at all. I love him though, but he doesn't make videos, so it's whatever. Back when he did make videos, he made gameplay videos, and they were fun. I like the dude. I like the dude's voice. He's a really interesting person. I took to memorizing a lot of facts about him just for shits and giggles, really. Because I thought it would be hilarious, you know? Because he is an interesting person. Like, I remember where he got his nickname, how he got his nickname. I remember his first name and his middle name. He never told his last name. I remember his state. And I remember one of the first videos he made. It was either the first video he made or the first video he uploaded, I remember. So I just remember these short little things. Because I would just like get him to say them, and then I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll remember that. And I'll just stick to remembering it. And I'm like that with a lot of people, just because I have a good memory. But for some reason, I decided that specifically him, I would try to remember every little thing I could. And again, I'm like that with a lot of people, but I just do it naturally. I made a show out of it with him, though. But no, I usually remember little details about people and things. Sometimes. If there's like too much, or I don't care about you, maybe I'll forget. But it became like a thing, was just that I would remember all this shit. It is fun. It is fun for me to remember people's names, because I usually do. For the most part, I do. Oh man, I was having a discussion about that, and I forgot to mention that I remembered the full name of somebody else. I was in the Zeke chat, and I was talking about the people. I was talking about one person in particular because I knew his full name. I just randomly knew his full name, and I was like, oh yeah, I know your full name. And then I was like going through everybody in the chat, kind of trying to think like, who else do I know the full name of? You know, first, middle, last. And I came to like one other person, but I completely forgot that there was somebody else who I totally knew the full name of, but I didn't remember at the time. I remember the full name still. I just didn't remember that they were a person that I remember the full name. I remember, right? Yes. I had to work through it a little bit. Wait. Oh shit, I might have it a little backwards. No. I think I know it. I just ask them later if it matters. Well, I can look it up too, technically. Because with Line, you'll look up any past messages if you want. It's more fun to try to remember it myself, and I'm pretty damn certain that it's that, so I'm gonna remember it anyway. But I don't know. I think it's fun to try to remember people's names. Everybody forgets my name, my last name if they learn it, which very few people have, I guess, especially in the Zeke chat. But I don't know. Nobody asks. Nobody gives a shit. Why would anybody give a shit? Doesn't matter. Don't ask. Oh, I don't know. There are like interesting things I can talk about with that kind of thing, but at the same time, I might wait to reveal those kind of fun things. Because I mean, I guess it's not like I don't talk about family things because that's personal, but this is like personal to me specifically, more like, well, I mean, it is technically my family, but at the same time, I'm not revealing anything about my family. I'm more revealing things about myself and the last name of my family. Doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter. My last name is Dilligaf. I'll probably never get that changed. I won't legally make my name Dilligaf. I think I've considered it at one point, but no, it's probably a bad idea. It's kind of also disrespectful to my family to change my last name. But I guess it technically wouldn't be the first time, but that's a whole big can of worms I don't need to talk about. I thought about it earlier today, but no, it's not something I'm going to talk about. I thought about it under the context of it's an interesting story, but it's not a story that I will tell in this public of a form. Maybe on a stream, more likely in a personal conversation with a person that I like. But yeah, no, just got interrupted by personal shit that I won't talk about. Brilliant. Speak of the devil. Tiger. Hi. She's just digging her way into my jeans. Hi. I'm looking at you. Talking to you. Oh, she's looking away now. Okay, whatever. I didn't remember what I was talking. I had to deal with some shit. But I mean, it's just like pretty much about to end the episode anyway. So yeah. Maybe somebody can ask me about that. No. What are you meowing? I hope you could hear that. This is a really good mic. You could probably hear that. Hi. Wanna give us another one? Meow. There she is. That's more of an upset one. I'm kind of messing with her. I'll leave her be. I'll leave you be. Take care of yourself.